What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? This is James, RedoptionAgency.com, 23 years selling full-time on eBay. And do you want to know how to get consistent sales every single day? Every single day. For 23 years, my goal was to build a business on eBay, not just to be a reseller, but to build an actual business on eBay. Now, the first thing that some of you may not like this, the first thing that's going to take to do this is hard work. Hard work and sacrifice. You're going to have to sacrifice something within your life if you want to be an entrepreneur and build a business. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There is no easy way around it. There is no, oh, we're just going to go and, buy the best items. We're going to be able to find them every day, and we're just going to be able to, list for 5 minutes and lay back and be happy the rest of the day. It's not going to happen unless you're huge on YouTube. That's the only way it's going to happen if you're making your money on YouTube. But if you want to make your money as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, and actually have a storefront, it's going to take hard work, commitment, and sacrifice. I sacrificed a lot when I started. Things like sleep, friends. I was raising 2 kids at the same time as starting the business. And there's a lot of days I don't go outside. A lot of days nowadays, I only get out one time a day, and that's just to go to the post office. People ask me, why don't you just have the post office pick up your items? Well, it's because it's usually the only time I get out from beyond the house. I'll take the dogs out and play with them, but to get actually in my car and drive, I only get that usually one time a day. Some may think that's sad, but that's just commitment and sacrifice to the life I love to live, and that is owning a reselling business. I'm not a reseller. I own a reselling business. This can go on far after I die. My kids can take it over and be sufficient and make this kind of money if they choose to add. Actually, this will be bonus money to what they're doing full time. So this is a reselling business. So if you want to make consistent daily sales every day, build a business. Don't try to be a reseller. Build a resale business. Now, what does that look like? What does that entail? Well, I'm going to show you the way I did it and the things that I do. There are other ways of doing it. There's a million other ways to do it. And you can find that here on YouTube too, with plenty other YouTube, with eBay sellers here on YouTube. But always keep in mind, are they making their money on the videos? Or are they making their money on eBay? One thing that I am always upfront about and will never deter from is being open, honest, and I will tell you everything. And if you watch my videos, you know I tell you everything. Even some things that you probably don't wish I wouldn't tell you, I tell you. Personal, business, it don't matter. I'm going to say it all because I'm just an open book and I like to flap my gums and just say whatever comes to my head. Now, look, today we are Saturday. We're going on 11:30 a.m. I'm headed toward $350 for the day. Yesterday I did $888. I sold 90 items yesterday. Day before was kind of a lower day, $774. I think I only sold like 56 items that day. These are just my U.S. ones. These are not even including my international sales. My international sales yesterday, I'm probably over $1,000 total. And this is only my big store, not counting my small store that I just started for clothing. And then the day before that, $827, and I sold 99 items that day. Before this, I was having some eBay issues where my numbers weren't lining up. And another thing that I just started doing is I'm open and honest about everything. I'm going to say when there's problems, and I got a lot of kickback over the years saying, there's this problem on eBay. This is what's causing problems. And there's a lot of naysayers out there that says, no, it's your items. It's your items that's causing the problem. I've been doing this 23 years. It's not my damn items. If something's wrong and I tell you it's wrong, you're going to know there's something wrong. So I've been listing it on the eBay tech boards that there's a problem. So the day the problem got fixed, that next day, $826. And I've been pretty consistent since then. Will this last? This is eBay who changes things consistently on the website, so it's hard to say. If they don't change something, this is going to stay the same because I am committed every day to listing and drafting and putting the work in to make $800, $900 a day. What does that look like with my store? A lot of you guys already know if you're watching this. But I'm here to try to fish in other viewers. If I've ever said anything in my videos that you liked or that helped you, hit that like button right now. If you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, because I'll come on here every day and tell you like it is and show you how to do it. And I'll show you the easy way of doing it if you're not afraid of hard work. Hard work's not easy, but the easy way of doing it, it is kind of easy. All right. First off, I'm going to show you where I'm at on my draft. So my job every weekend is to take as many pictures as I can with my drafts. Now, if you want to learn more about my drafts, I've just put another video of how to list 200 items in a day. That'll show you what drafts are all about, and how to create them, and how to make them individualized for whatever you are listing, whether that's albums, CDs, hats, clothing, whatever the case may be, coffee mugs, whatever you wish to sell. So I've got 860 drafts done so far, and that is pictures taken for the items. So on the weekends, I spend my time taking pictures, and then Monday through Friday, I am listing these items. So my goal today is to get over 2,000 drafts made, because it's pretty quick when you're just taking pictures. So what does that look like for my store? Well, my store has just got a little bit of everything in it. And it's based off, one thing I've always talked about, one thing you should always do is find a nice foundation item. What is a foundation item? Something that you know something about, that is plentiful in your area, and you can get super cheap. Now, my foundations items I started with CDs and cassettes, and over the 23 years, I bought so many that I actually have 5 storage areas right now that are filled with those items and others. And those items are all paid off and paid for. So that's just a plenishment that I get to keep going back to fill my store with no cost of goods. So start with the nice foundation items that you can buy, plenty. Thing I've always said, you make your money when you buy. So if you have, if you got to take a little risk and take a little chance to buy a huge lot because the cost is super low, take that risk if you're going to put in the work and the dedication that it takes to get that money back as quick as possible. So everything from CDs to cassettes to vinyl. Like right now, let's just go through and see what I got. So 58,000 items in my store, 17,000 plus CDs. We've got 11,000 plus cassette tapes. We've got 5,200 plus vinyl records. Then I also got into hats. So we got over 13,000 hats. Getting a little ahead of myself there. And everything from clothes, t-shirts, jackets, toys, plush, whatever. We're going to go through and see what's sold over the last 24 hours while we're here. But when I set out to do this, I set out to build a store. I wanted something that I didn't want to, list 100 items today and all those 100 items sell. That wasn't what I was shooting for, because that's pretty hard to do, if not impossible, depending on what you're selling, obviously. But there's another cha-ching right there. So I have no problem with items sitting in my eBay store for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. I don't care if it sits there for 10 years. And I have stuff that sells from every year. Now, if this wasn't changed, I could show you that, but apparently eBay's got an issue going on right now. This is usually my store categories. So my store categories, my second store category is always going to be the year that I list the item. So I'll have a CDs, and then I will have, actually this may be, hold on. No, this is not my stuff, or not my wordings. Yeah. So I know how many I list that year, or how many is actually still left in the store, I should say. And then I can see that items are still selling that I listed in 2020, 2021. And I can see how many I still have in that folder that was listed that year, and still seeing a consistent sales from all the years that I have listed. So there's another cha-ching. So yeah, a lot of people talk about sell-through rate. That's great and dandy and all. And you know what? That's just a small part of my business. I have a business. I'm not a reseller. I'm a business. I'm going to keep saying that. I'm a business. I have a store. I'm not a reseller. And the sell-through rate is only a very small fraction of that. That's the stuff that I, for the most part, buy these days after I've got so much slower moving products in storage and in my store. So those are the items I go for nowadays, more or less. Not always. Those are the bonus on top that if I list that today and I know it's going to sell today, then that's a bonus to today's money. So most of the stuff is long tail stuff, and it's going to sit in here for years. And I have no problem with that. It'll sit in here. Let's just say it'll sit here in here from anywhere from 5 minutes to 10 years. How about that? And I have no problem with any of that because that's how I built the business. Why does this say cassette twice? If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. It's a common phrase that's said so many times over, but is 100% true. I have no problem standing here working at this computer for 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. I have no problems because I enjoy it. It's not just the job, it's the hobby. It's what I enjoy doing. So there's nothing to it. My camera is blinking at me. I want to make sure it's still working. All right. So let's get in to see what sold for the last little bit. I'm curious to see what just sold in the last few minutes here. So we were at 345. We're at 374 right now. So we're headed toward $400 by noon. So that is consistent sales with slow sell-through rate items. So do not be afraid of slow sell-through rate items if you're building a business, if you're building a store, if you're building something long-term. Getting rich quick is very hard to do, and very few people get the pleasure of doing that. So build something that's going to be long-term, that's going to be there for years on end. I could go days, I could go a week, I could go a month without listing, and I'm still going to have pretty consistent sales that's going to bring in the money to pay my bills. So I could literally take a month off right now if I wanted to and not have to worry about anything. No, my bills are going to be paid because I built a business that will allow that. And that is the blessing of slow tail, slow selling items. If you're fixated on a high sell-through rate every single day, you can't take no time off. You've always got to constantly be feeding that machine unless you've got a huge bankroll behind you. So think about that, especially if you're just starting out. So let's get in and see what kind of sold the last few days and then call this video done. We got Killing Machine. I love independent music. I talk about that all the time. Whenever I find an album, cassette, or CD that's not on a major label, I usually grab it, especially if it's cheap. I will grab it, no matter the genre. This is probably going to be some kind of metal, I would think, from the looks of the title and such. So sold for $97. Probably had this sit in storage for 10 plus years. Pulled it out, listed it, and it sold. Things like Plush. Here's a CD that sold for $25. VHS, wrestling book, hats, clothing, purses, Christmas ornaments. Since Jan's been getting into the Christmas thing and been selling a lot of Christmas items that she's been finding. Cassettes, hats, 8-tracks, CDs, record, game magazines. One statement I've always used when finding simple, slow selling rate items: if somebody bought it once, somebody's going to buy it again. I've always said that. Another game magazine. And for me, it doesn't matter if it's a day, like I said, or a day or 10 years to find that somebody to buy it. Somebody bought it once, somebody's going to buy it again. CDs, cassettes. Media has been selling like crazy since I started the buy two, get two free. And another thing about a business like this, with slow sell-through rate stuff and even low dollar stuff, don't look at it as individual items. Look at it as an average across the board. If you just look at it as independent single items, you may be discouraged by that. So look at it as an overall average. Label pin, DVDs, Blu-ray, cassettes, DVDs, more game magazines, VHS tapes. Most of this is all simple stuff that you're going to find at your bins or at yard sales that you can just pick up probably anywhere USA, to be honest with you. It doesn't necessarily have to be all LL Bean stuff. It doesn't all have to be brand new tap out wallets. When you're building a business, you take many different avenues to create that business, and that's what makes a business sustainable, great, enjoyable, is just taking a little bit of everything. So if you take a little bit of what I say, take a little bit of what a J. Rye would say, take a little bit of what a Josh Galt would say, take a little bit of Dixon's Pickens Marcus would say, and you put all that together, you could grow yourself a nice long-term business if you're willing to put in the time, the dedication, and the work to do it. Hats, 45s, records. And there's no better reward and feeling than working 10 hours, working 12 hours a day, and just hearing that cha-ching all day long and winding up with 99 items sold in one day. That there alone gets you so fired up that you actually look forward to waking up the next day to get to work. And when you look at these $3.99s, buy two, get two, instead of looking at it as 4 different items, look at it as that's about $6 profit in your pocket. So one order will be 4 cassettes. The profit from each cassette will be $1.67. Times that by 4. That order is your sale, not this cassette, not this cassette, not this cassette. That order is your sale. CDs, more vinyl. So we're into some of the stuff that sold yesterday. Oh, I didn't even notice that sold. Nice. Just put that one up. So when it comes to when you buy bulk, you're going to get, if you find bulk that's not cherry picked, you're going to get high sell-through rate stuff along with slow sell-through rate stuff. So the high stuff will get your money back super quick, and your slow sell-through rate stuff's going to make you money tomorrow. Another saying I've always said is list for tomorrow, don't list for today. Pieces of a Barbie house that I picked up for $12 and pieced it out. Of course, toys, carrying bags, t-shirts, hats, cassettes, CDs, DVDs. More Christmas. 8 tracks. So I hope you're seeing what I'm throwing down here, the way that I've done things This way can be duplicated if you choose to, because it's just simple sell-through rate stuff that even when you do find something that's high dollar value or high dollar item, who else is going to pick this up? If you're not me, or you don't know too much about music, or you haven't watched one of my videos, you're not going to get that sale. That's how I do it. Dedication, hard work, sacrifice, all those good things. So, all right, that's all I have today. I'm getting back to work. Just felt like talking today. I was like, talk. All right. Thanks, everybody. Please subscribe if you are not. Like this video before it ends, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.